So every time he come down, there'd be a different woman with him. So I said, I said, watch this here. I took a piece of paper and I took it apart and I put it over her, and this rod was there, and I put a question mark.
Who is next?
Yeah, who's next?
Oh well. Finally found the right ones.
That's right. We told them they just took a little practice.
A little.
Yep.
Him and now.
He just needed someone to steer him in the right
Him and
direction.
now we're running
That's
next.
right, Kelly.
Now we're good.
Bittner.
Bittner.
Yeah.
There's Margaret, we would just go with John.
John.
Come on, Rod, leave her alone.
They're new songs.
See, things never change.
So what was it like to be the only girl in this family when growing up?
She had a maid.
Oh, good
She gets that
Lord.
question a lot.
It was
Well.
rough.
No, it was a lot of fun.
It was?
Yeah,
Really?
It was.
I never heard her say
I
that.
never heard her say that either. She's never said that.
It was a lot of fun. My brothers were always good to me. And
They were?
we always had fun getting in trouble.
Show them your nose.
This is wrong.
She's lying.
We did. We always had fun getting in trouble.
Did you pay her?
You don't remember this?
Who are you?
How much did you guys pay her
Yeah.
They picked on each other more than they did me.
Well, that is true.
sister we know.
Well, she did have a maid. Dad always babied her and
Yeah.
well, babied her and beat us.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. You guys picked on her. What about her little chicken pox?
Yeah. When she had got chicken pox, we told her the only way to get rid of those is to scratch
Got
them.
a buddy.
So she had the one big one on the end of her nose, and so we made her scratch it. But little did I know, later in life, she would get back at me.
That's God's doing.
Each one of them, Terry and Rod, got paid back.
Yeah, 'cause we got
Bigger than my
skin
little
ca-
chicken pox.
Yeah, we got skin cancer on our nose, and ours looks 20 times worse than hers.
Gotta watch what you say.
Karma's a you know what.
So
We used to throw rocks at you, though.
so what's some funny stories about John?
There isn't any.
No
Well,
funny stories. I find that hard to believe.
He was an ace auto mechanic.
Oh yeah, he was the best.
There's the one he changed the oil on his car.
Yeah. Yeah, tell him a story about him going to the
Part store.
parts store.
Well, he was always breaking his car, always, and half the time it was from the little King's bottles that were rolling around in the inside of it, because they would break and they'd bust everything in there. I think when he changed the oil, he just put little Kings in there instead of oil.
It was cheaper, yeah.
Yeah, well, Ronnie knows, because Ronnie was part of that ordeal, let me tell you. He'd go, man, you gotta fix my car, I gotta go to work, you gotta fix my car. I'd go out there, you could not find the floorboard from all the little King's bottles. But anyway, so one time, you were helping me, weren't you?
Yeah, we were all
Yeah,
helping.
yeah, we were fixing his car, and we told him, now look, what you need is a muffler bearing.
Him and Kenny.
Yeah.
Wasn't it, Kenny?
It was a fizzle dapper.
Yeah.
A thizzle dapper? Oh, okay. So it was a thizzle dapper. Well, we made something up. I didn't know what. So he goes down to the parts store and he's asking for a thizzle dapper. You know, and you can imagine the guy at the parts store. You know.
Probably Danny Hug.
It was.
Greg or somebody.
Where's Danny?
Yeah.
Was it Danny Hawk?
Yeah, it was Danny. We called him and told him that John
I
was
was
going
gonna say.
that way.
I thought there was a setup.
Let it alone.
Poor John.
Fizzle down damper, and the other thing was a lopulator or
A lopulator.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So, yeah, John was very mechanically minded.
And that really never changed, because when we went on the family vacation, the one and only, to Carolina Beach, we never even made it out of Ohio before John had to stop in the pouring down rain at the Kmart to get spark plugs for the minivan.
We all had minivans, didn't we?
yeah.
We were caravanning down, and John's the only one whose car wasn't
Oh yeah.
in proper shape.
I look in the rearview mirror and John's about a mile back there, you know. Every time it rained, he'd go slower and slower and slower because the spark plug wires on his van. You open it up and it looked like an electrical fire under there or something.
That was our first stop on family vacation. Kmart, right before the West Virginia border.
Yep, we had to get a set of plug wires
Marietta.
so he could keep up.
Yep,
That was a vacation in
it was.
I was telling Doug about how he was never allowed to have any money.
Who was it? I remember the quarter he found.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, when his car broke down on this expressway, and he gets out and he goes down on Market Street, and there's a bar there, and there's a phone booth. He don't have a quarter. He don't have nothing. So he goes in there. He's the only guy I know that's lucky as that one. He goes in and he reaches in the change where it comes down out, and he finds a quarter call.
Who'd you call?
Probably a dime back then.
You,
Me,
Oh,
yeah,
you
that's
did.
right. You called me.
the car guy.
I told Doug he had to call Rhonda to see if he was allowed to use that quarter.
And then she called Ron.
Yeah, because you know what Rhonda's saying. Retirement.
Cha-ching.
Well, no, another thing was, John, when he was working in Toledo, he used to come in and we'd all go to dinner. Well, he'd never buy because he never had any money. So, one time he came in, he says, hey, I'm taking all you guys to dinner. So we went to Hartville Kitchen and we all ate, you know, and he was playing King Tut or whatever, you know, and we go to leave and he pulls out his plastic and the lady says, sorry, we don't take plastic. So of course, we bought again. That was good.
He had that figured out.
Ronnie taught me how to do that.
You're older than me, you taught me.
I don't know. I heard there's a race between who was cheaper. I think you won.
No. He definitely won.
Check to make sure he had enough to get back on the toll roads.
Yeah.
He was like everyone we would have bought little kings. He was the same way.
Actually, it was all a ploy. He really had money. He just was smart.
He was smart. He always saved his money.
That's why he has money. Did it?
You do?
Well, Rhonda said he did.
We were out
She
driving.
does.
We were out driving around this morning. He goes, "Let's go to McDonald's." So we go to McDonald's. He pulled $4 out of his pocket. And I'm going, now 20 years ago, that would have never happened.
I'm surprised he has it now.
Tell him about the $100.
Poor Joe.
Oh yeah.
That $100 we've been using for about a year now. Take it out of that $100. That $100 was gone like last December.
Jeez, oh me.
Mom, you got any stories about your son here? Tell them about the one about the old farmhouse we went by today. About the big oak tree. Yeah.
You mean the one where you act like you fell out of the tree?
Oh yeah.
And Terry's laying on the ground, you know, like he's gone. John comes running in the house. Terry just fell out of the tree. And so I go running out and here's Terry. And then he jumped.
That is mean. I can't believe you guys did that
Oh, yeah.
to her. Oh my gosh, she's
Then
such
they
a
were-
worrier.
They were the dumbest kids.
We were?
Yeah. They were to be, as soon as I leave, they didn't think I was smart enough to know this, but as soon as I leave, all hell broke loose. But when I come home, they would write a note, and they put it on the table, and they say, please Dad, don't beat us, we've been good.
It never did work, did it?
Never worked. Never worked.
You guys are terrible.
Yeah, never did work.
They couldn't wait for Dad to leave from work. Dad, go to work, Dad. Dad, go to work.
All right, let's work on Mom.
I remember that. We used to go in at high school. You'd pull up and say, school's canceled, get in the car. So me, Kenny, and John, we'd jump in and we'd take that, she'd make us breakfast. School was still still on, yeah.
Oh no.
That was Terry for you. Guess how school.
Did Mom call you off school that day?
I think she did
She
a
used to
couple
call
times,
me
didn't
off
she?
school.
Yeah. She did
When
a
I
couple
flick.
times.
Oh my gosh.
Are you sure? Not me.
No, Mom.
Don't remember that.
I can't believe she
I
did
remember
that.
always keeping your dinners warm and then.
What
How
was
about-
that?
When I'd keep your dinners warm, waiting on you so you just could eat when you come home. Yeah.
How about when John would come home late at night and Mom would make him all this food and she couldn't figure out why he was so hungry? Why the heck could he be that hungry this late at night?
Why was that, John?
Okay, we can blurp those pieces out.
We used to have to carry the trash cans down to the street because the guy said, I'm not coming up there to get those anymore. They were so heavy because they were just full of empty little can bottles.
Oh gee. They knew how to have a good time, I guess.
Drinking and driving. Bad.
Well, I liked it
They
when
can't
he
put
changed,
that on the video. Granddaughter will understand
when
that.
he changed the oil in his car. Remember he dropped the transmission fluid. Remember that?
When he did what?
Put the oil in.
When he drained the transmission fluid and then
And put more oil in the oil
tried to
sponge?
put
Yeah, he tried.
his 4 quarts of oil in and couldn't figure out why it was
Yeah.
running out.
He had 8 quarts of oil in the engine and nothing in the transmission.
Oops.
And then he'd go, dang it, Ron, I don't know what's wrong with this thing.
How about that clubhouse we had in between yours and Kenny's house? Remember that?
Okay, happy thoughts.
Happy thoughts. They're all happy.
I didn't hear the story about the clubhouse between yours
Yeah,
and
we
Kenny's
didn't
house.
The yellow one?
Yeah. Remember what Gil Landwehr, what he had to do? Because we wouldn't let him in it? Him and his brother went over and built a cardboard one in the tree.
Who, John?
Well, it was, I think Terry, you helped us build it. It was really kind of John, Kenny, and mine, and then we wouldn't let Gil in, so him and his brother went and built one in the tree and out of cardboard. It rained like 2 days later.
That was the end of their clubhouse.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Working at A&W,
Oh, yeah.
some years.
Samirs.
Winery.
Yeah, Samirs.
You worked at A&W?
Yeah.
I thought only Lori worked at A&W. I worked there.
Body work.
You did?
Oh, yeah.
Buddy worked there.
We used to clean the parking lot.
I don't remember you working there, John.
Yeah, we used to go and clean the parking lot. Mark out the orders to Ronnie.
Get that machine over there.
I'd find a nickel, I wouldn't even tell him. Now watch, I gotta pay him back 2.5 cents now.
And he still got that nickel too.
That's funny.
Samirs, that was a fun place.
Oh, yeah.
What was it called before, Terry, when you worked there before?
Very.
Sperry's.
Sperry.
I guess when I came in right after that,
Wasn't it called the Circle at one time, too?
We all worked there. I worked there too.
Circle
Did
It
you-
was
Restaurant?
called the
worked
H and
there,
H
H&H.
one time.
That was in the 50s.
Well, it was still the H and H.
We
Yeah.
goofed around a lot there when we worked there, but we got the job done. We were good cooks and
Remember when?
busboys and dishwashers.
Remember when John and Kenny was over at the Waffle House and they was being noisy and they told him they had to get out? Remember that? And
That's
poor-
where-
they told Kenny he wasn't allowed to walk home. Wasn't that it? Well, I'm walking home. And so the police took him and put him in jail. So here's John. He comes home and he's running upstairs. Oh, I gotta get some money. I said, what's wrong? Oh, they got Kenny in jail. They got Kenny in jail. He didn't even do nothing. Poor John was so upset.
Kenny and Craig both.
And anyhow,
Really?
John goes over to the police station and he's arguing with the police. Let him out, he didn't do nothing and everything else. The police kept telling him, John, if you don't settle down, you're going to be.
Did you go over there?
Remember
You went over
that?
night, didn't you?
Yeah, I went over.
Yeah, and then his dad went over there.
Was that when they had the little holding cell?
Yeah.
The cage.
Yeah, okay.
Rod was in it.
Okay, I was gonna say, how many of the Fuller boys were in there?
Rod was in it, and John was in it. Terry
you get
never
it,
been.
Terry?
Jerry, you were in there too, weren't you?
Terry went down to the
No,
big
he
house.
went-
He went down to the
I
big
thought,
house.
I thought
Terry,
he
what,
called
that
it there
coin?
first though.
Coin?
You didn't call there first?
When he ate
When
the
he
school.
egged the school.
Oh.
He threw the eggs on the school.
Straight
thought-
downtown.
The big house.
But John was really good because in the neighborhood we had a go-kart. Remember the go-kart?
Yeah.
We didn't have a motor, so
I was the motor.
John was the motor. He pushes up and down those fields all day.
Oh, yeah.
Faster, faster!
Yeah, I remember that.
It was like, when's my turn? Ah, not today.
I guess they did pick on him.
And then we used to go back and ride the oil well pumps, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
Those pumps,
Yeah,
we
we
get
get
on
on
those
top
and,
of it.
and ride those things, remember those? That was fun. Then we fell through the oil. Yeah. That was
That's
pretty.
funny.
Could you
Yeah.
imagine if you let your kids do that when they were growing up?
No,
Well, that's
those were
like
different times.
That's where us bumper skiing around the circle.
Yeah, we were
Snow.
talking about that today.
Yeah. That was fun.
You did?
Oh, yeah, we'd hide behind Lawson's there and somebody'd back out and go in Lawson's and they'd get their stuff, they'd back out. When they backed out, we'd go jump onto their bumper and then pull us up around the circle and stuff.
We used to get the shoes they had, you know.
Yeah, the street shoes or whatever.
Oh yeah,
Church
street
shoes.
shoes.
Yeah.
The Riviera, we used to take the Riviera to Goodyear Heights Hill, unbolt it from the car, take it up the hill, we'd all get on it and slide down the hill on the Riviera hood. I think you were with us a couple of times.
I remember you put that squirter out the sideway, you went down to downtown Akron, squirting people with that, your window squirter.
Yeah, they put dye in the
Oh, they did. I don't remember
fluid,
that.
yes.
You had that mannequin, you used to ride along with.
We were pretty studious kids, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was you.
You know what, all of our neighbors loved us though.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
All of them.
The Millers.
They
Everywhere
really
we went,
did
the neighbors
love
always still liked
them.
us.
Yes, they
Oh,
did.
About 12 or 14 cars with loud mufflers and jacked up, driving them down the street as fast as they can.
Kids
Yeah.
would go and,
Remember
But
Mr.
everybody
Long?
always did like you guys.
Remember Mr. Long? Oh, he'd be
Oh,
staying out there
yeah.
screaming at us because our cars were so loud. Oh, he
All right,
hated
so
it.
one neighbor who didn't like you, but most people did like
But
you.
he still liked us though.
which one didn't like him? The one that thought it was a bunch of hippies moved in?
I'll tell you who
That's probably
didn't like us.
Isla.
I'll tell you who didn't like us.
She just had to because John married her daughter.
Yeah.
When we moved in Stadium Drive, I had an old 51 Ford pickup that had big loud mufflers on it. And that always had long
Is that a
hair
51?
down to our shoulders. And we come in, that thing was loaded with our stuff and we're moving in.
Like that.
I think every neighbor, every time we come in, they were going, watching us like we were.
You remember that truck, don't you, John? It was red, wasn't it?
Red and white cat on the top roof.
Yeah, I painted that 100 times.
Remember you painted John's 56 out
Yeah.
out of that water?
Yeah, remember coming to Atwater, John?
You almost married me after that.
Huh?
You almost married me because we had it all taped up and we're standing on his car and then we said, okay, we're going to take it. He jumps in the back seat, goes to sleep. Well, you're behind the steering wheel. And all of a sudden, about 2 hours later, Ron's like, oh, how do you get in the car? He was sleeping and I was like,
He's ready.
That's when he had hair.
that was a long time ago.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, he does need to cuddle when he sleeps. Just ask his brothers how he couldn't sleep in Malvern. They had to bring him home.
Well, I know the next weekend he said, I want to go back out and work on my car again. I said, nah.
Okay.
I'll stay at home on weekends.
We were in the
Oh, I-
farmhouse and we used to
Good
make,
story.
we were in the farmhouse and how we used to make the tents off the clotheslines. And all the family picnics we would have. We always had family picnics. All the cousins and aunts and uncles. Everybody just brings something, we didn't plan it.
Yeah.
Run through the cornfields and the wheat fields and chew the wheat to make gum. Run through the cow fields and get the cow skulls. Remember the cow skulls?
Yeah.
Remember the cow heads one? Bringing them home?
Yes, yes.
You never did make anything out of that.
Cow tongue.
That we know of.
I brought a cow tongue home one day, about that long. And
That
about yeah, about that. And I says to Helen, I says, because a buddy of mine, his wife could fix them out. Now she did it, but they were really good. But anyhow, Helen fixed it. All the kids looked like bush. They wouldn't eat it.
Oh, can you buy them?
No, I can't bring him.
But then they never liked liver, but we fixed it like Salisbury steak, and they thought it was steak.
Yeah, I still knew it was
Yeah, we still do it with some dark fish. Terry and I were still eyeing the dog food in the back.
I don't know why we eat dog food.
Yeah, why do we eat dog food?
You ate dog
else to
food?
eat.
Couple dogs.
Yeah, every once in a while we go to the back and we open that. You guys used to buy gigantic bags of dog food, remember those? And we just reach in there and
Is that why I hear dogs barking in the bedroom at night? It was you kids that sent dogs, huh?
no.
They eat their dog food and they bark.
That's probably why we smelled like kibbles and bits all the time. That was good.
Why did we eat dog food?
Kids do silly
I
things.
told you, because there was nothing else to eat.
I took him one time to the Blue Hole.
There's the blue hole.
And I said, I'm driving along and I says, kids, look, there's the Blue Hole.
Yeah, tell
Right.
them about,
We
tell
were
them about
supposed
your
to
family
stop.
vacations.
And then we went to Columbus Zoo one time, and I seen it was where they have that underground drive to go underground, you know? I ain't going under that, so I says, kids, there's the Columbus Zoo.
They only saw the
Washington
signs.
DC, same thing, got in that circle. I got mad, got in that circle, I couldn't get out of it, so I said, there's DC, goodbye.
That's how they sell all their vacations, just from the signs.
Yeah.
No, we used to go to Florida quite a bit.
Yeah.
Was that a vacation?
Yeah.
He was learning how to be a tour guide.
Well, and then all the stories about John driving truck before they put him in the office.
He liked to run into stores, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I know he loved to deliver down in Canton, down on Cherry Street.
Yeah.
Where did you pull that car from?
Which
Was it in Akron?
On Tommy Avenue?
Yeah,
Is
Thomas
that where it
Avenue.
was? Talmadge Avenue? Yeah, that's a good little story.
The windows busting out of the car. And
You're pulling car down the way?
Oh, yeah, it was
He was
I
driving
remember
an
that.
18-wheeler.
Yeah, he was
He
driving a
He
fuel
hooked
truck.
their bumper, right?
yeah, my rear axles got a hold of their back of the
And you
car.
didn't know it.
Not until I looked around.
Some guy
All I
hanging
can
out.
see is those people, they're all screaming, the windows are popping out of the car. I knew it was so bad.
And then what, it wasn't even a month later, you took half of that,
Building?
yeah, you took the building down. I didn't realize you took the building down till all the brick and stuff were flying by him. So they
No what?
decided to put him in the office.
No wonder it got
Yeah.
off. I thought he did a great job of driving the truck.
Yeah, how are you pushing pencils? I'll try it.
We need to find somewhere safe for Jen to work.
Maybe safe for all the people around you.
So 33 years later,
Yeah.
I made it safe.
Yeah. I remember where he worked over there? On 532?
Oh, yeah, sit over there.
You know, that whole place would be black, and there's that little office, little lights on it, you'd always see John's head in there. We'd go by, remember, you'd be the only one in there to blow the horn. We'd stop in once in a while and see ya.
Yeah, we used to stop there.
Uh-huh. That was pretty wild.
We'd come to my house at noontime and him and Mom would sit on the porch and have lunch and smoke cigarette.
We can cut that one out.
Edit.
It was bad.
Grandkids don't need to know that either.
We only smoked them for only half of it.
Yeah. Well, they never got to smoke them all because they heard me coming and they had to put them out.
We need happy stories.
We had it in your house, one of your kids, where Terry went flying over the flower pot.
Yeah, there we go.
We'll get somebody else on the fence.
Yeah. Yeah, Terry flying. Oh, the time we went to have some macho ice cream. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
That's
was a good one.
Yeah, we went to Baskin Robbins ice cream place and
That's when we lived in the falls.
yeah, we're all looking at all those 31 flavors or whatever it was, and so we're all trying different ones. And John says, "Now this young kid behind the counter," and John says, "I'd like to try some of that macho ice cream." And the kid looks at him like, "You mean the mocha?" We laughed so hard.
I wanted the machos too.
Oh, that was
That's the best time I asked that waitress for a quickie.
yeah, and it was quiche.
It was
Runs in the family. I do the same thing, don't I?
Oh my gosh.
What's your quickie key?
What's your quickie? No, I asked what
No,
was
he
the
asked what the
quickie of the day. Yeah, what's the quickie of the day?
And tell him where you were. What restaurant were you at?
Freddie,
He asked what the quickie of the day was.
How do I edit that?
That's a grandpa story. That's all right. We can leave
That's
that one
okay.
in.
That's
Aren't you glad you went with us then, huh, John?
Yeah.
So, John, tell me a little bit about Rhonda. When did you first fall in love with her?
Oh, when I first fell in love with Rhonda was when I took her out for our first date. I had a 56 Pontiac Star Chief.
Big back seat.
Huge backseat.
Because I had a 55.
I took her to a haunted house, and she lived right next door. So I got to go pick her up, so I put on my driveway, pulled over, picked her up, went to the haunted house, came home, didn't know how to give her a kiss goodnight, so I lifted up the hood on my 56 Pontiac Star Chief and said, "Oh, nice day, have a good time."
That was it?
That was it.
Were you like this?
How old were you?
17. Yeah. Knew it was love. Knew it was love right
He was
there.
in love with her before
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, you were.
You were
Then
in love with that
Ron,
before
Ron, he tried to steal her from me a couple times.
that. She's still trying to get to me through you. We were all friends. We all grew up together, you know. All the friends hung out together.
And
Yep. So I don't know. From there, that was just the beginning. Never looked back. Been in love with her ever since. 30-some years.
How many years you been married?
somewhat.
I knew it was close to, not a couple years more than us, because our wedding pictures almost look the same. When you look at Mama's wedding pictures, everything, all the guys had white with tails, we had white with tails, all her girls had hats, I had hats, because that was the in thing then. Even our bridesmaid dresses almost look the same.
Huh.
Same time frame.
It's hard to believe. Where to go? 30-some years.
Met you at Wally Waffle. This is the first time I ever met you. You and Rhonda were there. Rod and I were there late on a date one night. And you
Really?
and Rhonda were there in a different booth. And we met you. Mm-hmm.
I thought it was at the Donut Depot.
I met you at I met Terry and Lori at Wally Waffles too. We were there on another different night and they were there having dinner.
Wally
There's
Waffles.
coffee.
Wally Waffles.
That was
it.
the hangout.
That was the
We ran into people, you guys were there all the time.
Big part of our lives. That's
Tomorrow we take Doug to Wally Waffles.
All right, I'm looking forward to
Ain't the
it.
same word, though.
It's not the same.
Yeah, but it's
But they
all
have
the
the same
original
food.
stuff from the inside of the other one.
Yeah, they do have the
Yeah, it
same
is.
food and the same
Yeah, but it ain't the
stuff.
same.
Well,
That's so funny they have the original.
he took me
booths.
there, yeah.
Remember when
he took me
everybody
there
used to,
after
John,
work.
remember when everybody used to go in there and the first big round table was always Pinkston and all them guys,
all the
remember? We sit there,
auxiliary cops
and we'd go over to the first or second booth all the time.
He was still sitting at that table when Rod and I started dating.
Who, Pinkston?
Yes.
He moved from Samirs to there.
Yeah.
You go back and forth, him and Rickshaw and all those guys.
Rickshaw.
Yeah, that was the hangout in them days.
Yep, you and Rhonda lived in those apartments
On 91.
on 91. Was it Talmadge Oaks?
So there-
When we got married, it was right there.
Remember we
Yeah,
played
that's
tennis
where he
there that
lives.
one time?
Do what?
John and I weren't really athletic, so we went and played tennis. I had a 20-foot chain link fence all the way around the tennis, and John and I just kept hitting them out. We're trying to get them across as a regular serve or something, but we had to keep running out to get the balls. You know? We didn't try that anymore, I don't think. That was it.
We thought we were playing racquetball.
We weren't very good at that either, when we used to play that over there. Everybody come out with bruises and stuff.
That's funny.
There was a time we played softball, we started the softball team, remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Was it you or was it Bob Evans, the one that was got out in center field, a fly ball came and like this and the ball went and hit him in the face and missed that.
That was Bob.
That was Bob.
He's not here to defend
Yeah,
himself.
that's it. Yeah, I think it might be somebody else, but hey, you know, this is his video, so.
It was Bob.
He was quite the athlete.
Rod was a better one though.
Oh,
He played basketball and he'd run hit the post that hold the basketball net up about not in South Valley.
Hey, remember your buddy at the Y?
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
which one, Kevin?
The guy you become friends with, and we could break into the Y. We used to go swimming late at night.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
I remember that.
Well, you know what, I was talking to
Used to
Gil
find him
Baylor
on our
about that the
couch
other day.
asleep.
He's the one that told, and they fixed the door. He said, yeah, I went to
They had these, John met this guy at the Y,
Aw.
and they became pretty good friends. And John told us one night, he goes, come on, we're allowed to go swimming. Really? At 12 o'clock at night, we're gonna go swimming? Yeah. I don't know how we did it.
Did Jimmy the
A
door,
night
yeah.
or something, and it was unlatched the door, and shoot, we'd be in there swimming all night long, you know?
Yeah, Gil just told me the thing. He said he was the one that told the guy to fix the door.
Why would you do that?
That's what I asked him. I said, why would you do that? He goes,
Probably
"Because
because we were gonna go swimming.
Or didn't like his cardboard clubhouse.
Is that the guy that used to come home, we'd wake up in the morning and see
He'd be
this
sleeping
stranger
on
on the
our
couch?
Yeah, he
Was he the one?
Yeah, that was
Really? I thought Gil was Rob's friend. He was your friend first?
Who, Gil?
Gil, no, he wasn't the one sleeping on
Gilbert Landler?
Yeah.
Right.
it. Gilbert lived next door.
Guy that supposed to close for
He's
two
one of
hours.
Rod's, the first people I met when I was dating Rod.
No,
I was
really?
friends with
Probably
him.
John.
We used to go see him in his bands all over.
No,
He was a year older.
I ran around with Gil for, Gil for
When I
about
met
5
Rod,
years.
yeah, he was
Huh.
always with
I
him.
ran around with John for about 3 years. Then John ousted me.
That was during Rod's
Wonder
bad days.
why.
I
That's
ousted
before.
No, John.
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 John Hampshire.
I was gonna say, when did John do that?
Sean would never.
The only time I ever ousted Rod out of my apartment was the time
Oh, yeah.
he came home and he was cooking hot dogs. And I woke up at 7 in the morning and the hot dogs are fried to the pan. And they're fried to the burner. And the hot dogs are as black as can be.
The pan was welded to the burner.
Rod, are you gonna eat these hot dogs?
That was before me. He quit behaving that way.
You think,
But you know him.
you don't know it all.
I kept tabs on him.
Was I living with you then?
Yeah.
Where was that, Cuyahoga Falls, at that one apartment?
No, that was at Whitehall.
Yeah.
Oh, that was Whitehall?
Yeah, I had really nice neighbors that I went to Florida one time and came back and none of the neighbors would talk to me.
Yeah.
After he
Rod
stayed there
took care
for a
of
week.
that, huh?
We had a couple parties.
We used to, when we
should've
first
invited
moved to
them.
Florida, remember we'd get on our bicycles and we'd be riding to school and we'd be riding really fast and all of a sudden John's riding really slow and pretty soon he's crying. What are you doing? I don't want to go to school.
Oh,
Hey, I was in 4th grade.
that's sad.
No, he said in Florida. In 4th grade you cried though too.
Yeah. Yeah,
I cried in 5th grade too.
Oh, that was 5th grade, that's right, that was 5th grade.
Yeah. 4th grade I cried because I moved to Florida. Then in 5th grade we moved back to Ohio and
He didn't like math either, so
Yeah.
he started crying.
he did like that.
Ronnie was my only friend then. He came up and goes, I'll help you with your math.
New
New kid.
New kid.
I was the new kid crying.
Well, I was a new kid the year before, and Rhonda was she helped me through that, her and Dave Myers, and so when I saw him crying, I thought, well, he's a new kid, I'll help him.
Oh,
Well, that was nice, Ron.
Yeah.
No
What
kidding.
buddies ever said.
Yeah.
Is that why
Thanks for all that money you paid.
We've been like peas and carrots ever since.
That's funny.
We have done a lot of stuff, which I can't say, but girls come see me later. I'll tell you the real story.
Oh, they weren't bad. We had great times.
We did, yeah. Amazed,
I liked the
amazed we
family.
didn't get hurt.
I liked the family vacation when every morning you and I were the first ones out there because we love the beach and we get up.
Swatting this one.
Yep. And we had John's rafts. All John's rafts for the ocean were bright yellow. Which the bees
Were
like.
they?
Yes, they were bright yellow. And he would get up and he'd have either one or both of his boys and I would go out with Shelby, was always afraid of sharks, thanks to Rod, so he wouldn't go out. And John and I'd be out there with the kids, and Lori be watching us, wave hi from her thing, and everyone else. And before anyone else would ever come out, John and I would already have moved to the pool because we'd be out there and they'd just watch us laughing. Because there were huge hornets everywhere, and John and I both, we did not like the bees, swatting the hornets, swatting everything, and we'd try to lay down and rest, and then we'd get back up and finally John would go, "That's it! I've had it with these bees, I'm going to the pool." Every day it was the same thing. By about the 4th day, there was no beach. It was just straight to the pool because we were tired of those dang hornets. It was so funny.
Vacationing in the swamp or what?
Well,
No, we were, I don't know why the hornets were so bad.
What about the small ride that Claudia decided
Took us to the crowd.
So look at it, it is a half hour to get there. What was it, an 8-hour drive to
Oh,
go?
was
You had to get on a
not.
ferry, take your car, take a bus, walk, stand in line for 2 hours.
Oh,
And the kids were
that's-
Well, you
ages
gotta tell them
3
what
and
you were
5.
doing. We were all going
to
to
Calabash.
eat seafood.
Yeah.
She wanted all you could eat crab
You
legs.
gotta remember, our kids were babies.
But you gotta remember, we were in where was it, right?
Carolina Beach,
Oh,
right?
okay,
Yeah.
Right.
Nate was
Wilmington.
young. Nate couldn't have been more than 1 or 2 because him and Shelby are the youngest. Shelby was, and I picture, they're little.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're talking that age, 1 to,
5.
except for Claudia's boys who were a bit older.
It
And-
started out real nice, you know.
And I had sun poisoning so bad from laying out there in the sun with John all day long at that pool. I was like, I had a fever, I had hives, and we're going to this quick half-hour trip to dinner, and
Yeah.
all of a sudden, we're like, "Are we almost there?" She's like, "Yeah." Well, we were almost to the ferry. We had to put our cars on.
By this time, the kids were crying because they
You
were
gotta make a certain
hungry.
time.
They needed to eat something. There was nothing. We didn't pack any snacks. It was just a short
By the time we
distance
got
away.
there, we all ate at separate restaurants.
Yep.
We literally did. Some went to one restaurant, some went to another, because everyone, it was so funny. And then we were all gift shopping for quite some time while Claudia was still eating her crab legs.
And John was very patient back then. Yeah, he was always the patient one.
No. Even I know that's not true.
Are you saying he was spoiled?
Oh my gosh. Man. There's so much.
John?
Was he spoiled or what?
No, not John.
Now, he was not patient back then.
I was patient.
Oh, no, you weren't. You've changed a lot.
Yeah, no kidding.
When did you change?
He did.
I don't think he did.
Yeah, you did.
When I gave Jesus the will.
There we go.
When
I like
what?
that answer.
I know it was still, I know when we were in Fort Wayne and Josh was still living there and he plugged up the toilet upstairs.
Oh.
He was still not
Should've seen
patient.
him.
He was so angry. I thought he was gonna, he was so mad. He'd had it with those kids. He got his plunger out.
There's a rule in our house. It's called poop flush, white flush.
Last week you made me
Yeah, he was telling his
downstairs
mother-in-law that when I was there.
Are you kidding
A
me?
couple of weeks ago, he goes, "Remember, poop flush, white flush." I said, "Really? You really said that to your mother-in-law?" She did it though. I heard it going on.
Speaking of that,
There we go.
there, now you got it made.
Okay, John, what was it like at Christmas time at the Colberts?
Great.
You want to expand on that at all?
Which part? This year?
No, no.
Growing up.
When you were growing up.
Do you have a memorable
Oh,
Christmas?
Yeah.
A memorable Christmas.
Rob.
Wow. We had so many memorable Christmases. How many could we stop at?
Yeah, they were all memorable.
We did. We always did.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We had nice Christmases.
Yeah. I thought we did.
I mean, we didn't always have the most extravagant toys or anything like that because Claudia always got the good stuff. we got the stuff that was someone else's and got painted on Christmas Eve and then you got it the next day. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know,
But
Christmas.
that did happen one time.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah. Ron, remember Ron made toys?
Yeah, and I remember that and that was very memorable and that meant a lot.
We always got, you know, new clothes at Christmas time.
Blue shirts and dark blue pants.
They always went to Western Auto, got you guys your toys.
Western, that's the name.
Western
Yeah,
Auto.
remember the big,
Tonka trucks.
Tonka trucks, the big old
Yeah.
steel ones, them the kind, they would get them and the next day you wouldn't know what they were, they annihilated them.
Those are indestructible toys.
Not for them.
Not if you jump on them from the
You know, like
second
today you
floor.
have Transformers, that's what we did to our toys. We were way ahead of our time.
If there's one thing our dad showed us is how to use a hammer and duct tape.
You did ask him to fix something for you.
You got a hammer? You got duct tape? You're in.
And they still follow that rule.
Remember when you guys used to play hide and seek and you'd hop on the back of the bed and there'd be all the
Oh, yeah.
presents?
We'd be jumping up and down on the bed, and we'd jump behind the bed, and there was all the presents.
But we knew that. Connie would always say, tell Mom and Dad. No, we always had a good time.
We were always busy though.
Oh,
That's why talking about like memorable Christmases, every day was,
Memorable.
Yeah.
yeah,
Christmas.
every day was crazy.
I mean, we used to put on our Batman capes or whatever and jump from the balcony onto the couch.
Except when the babysitter was.
Remember the couches we had? We always had to buy new couches because
Oh,
the legs would break off of them, and we had to build them up with
books.
books because we were jumping onto the couches.
Sliding down the banister.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Yeah, you guys were always busy. I mean,
every day it was busy.
for all the stories you guys have. I mean, did you have that many stories in your family? Me neither. And we had a big family with lots of stories, but they were always. I think
Well,
every
that's
I think
stuff.
every day was an adventure for them when they
We
were
always
kids.
had stuff to do though, things to
Oh, and a lot of
Well,
people
tell 'em
over there all
about
the time too.
The story about you guys riding to Western Auto.
Yeah, we used to ride to Western Auto, we'd take Dad's rototiller and take the wheels off and,
We put the wheels on our bikes,
yeah.
and they
put the
looked
wheel on
stupid, so stupid, and all the pedals would hit the ground if you tilted.
the- Yeah.
Remember that? Dad would come home, the rototiller's laying all over the place. The lawnmowers are all ripped up.
That wasn't a good night.
I'll tell you what that was.
That was the night they'd leave the notes. We were good today, please don't spank us.
Well, yeah.
Or there it is, you know, I just bought a brand new bicycle. It's nice, shiny red. Next day, my dad comes home and the bicycle's now yellow.
Yeah.
I painted it yellow. I didn't want it red anymore.
Oh
do. They
my-
always did like that.
The reason why you wanted Jell-O.
Yeah.
Right, he's
Live
always
strong.
liked Jello.
Did you
It
ever?
was kind of weird though. We put bikes in layaway
Oh,
Yeah.
and we worked paper routes, and
yeah.
it'd take us what, 8 months to pay them off. We'd get them and bring them home and tear them apart and paint them. How stupid was that?
We painted everything.
Yeah.
Spray cans. We had more spray cans.
But our neighbors sure did like them.
Yeah, all the older
They did.
people, would always go over and weed their gardens or anything, any way to make a little money, they'd do it. Yeah.
Mr. Abel didn't like us very much.
Well, he didn't like that.
No bad stories.
John, John made some money one time. He went up to Miracle Mart, remember? And he was gonna buy himself a pair of
Miracle
shoes.
Mart.
And here's somebody back there taking their old shoes off and putting new ones on. John couldn't believe it. They walked right out with. Remember that?
So did you do it too, John?
No, John.
No,
Did they give him a reward?
no, they
Are
wouldn't
you
even go
kidding?
get
They
them.
wouldn't even go after the people. John went up and told them about the people that was put the new shoes on and took their old ones off.
Have those old ones? My brother's shoes just don't fit me.
I'm looking for an upgrade.
New retreads.
No, we had good Christmas, we did have that. Didn't have a whole
We'd
lot.
just get to bed and the kids would be waking you up.
Oh, yeah, we
That's
put
all
all
our
used to
presents.
be in the old days, you put everything together for the kids as present night, Christmas Eve, and they went to bed. Well, by the time you got that all together and everything, went to bed, it was about 3 in the morning. At 5 o'clock, they'd have you up.
I'm sure they did.
This is, I kind of vaguely remember a story at the stadium about the end of the driveway. There was a pine tree, and didn't half of it get, somebody steal that for a Christmas tree, or did you guys cut it down for a Christmas tree or something?
Dad cut one year.
Oh, no, that was over on Perry Road.
Oh,
Yeah.
what?
When I climbed that pine tree,
Yeah, I don't
we didn't have a
remember
Christmas
something.
tree,
No,
so
there was
I
something
seen
on
this big,
Stadium,
it
but I
had this
can't
big
remember.
pine tree behind the house. So I looked up and said, man, that top looked like a beautiful Christmas tree. So I get my saw out and I climb up through all the branches. I'm up there, I'm sawing away, you know. And all at once it starts, you know, go down, it goes off and the tree went boom, like this here, you know, down through the branches. I come all the way to the ground. I was just covered with sap and bruises. But we had our Christmas tree.
Yeah.
We used to go to Fred Fuller Park all the time, remember, for our picnics?
Yeah, over in Kent.
Kent,
Kent.
Well, we used to go to one
Grand
in Kent.
Hmm?
Fred Fuller Park.
We used to go over there and hang out a little bit.
Fred Fuller.
Yeah.
Remember the swings that went like that?
Yeah.
Do they still have those? They had them when our kids were little. We took our kids there.
I don't think they got swing.
Been there.
What was that, Mulberry Road? Where was it?
Middlebury.
Middlebury.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you guys having big family picnics over there and stuff too.
We always had big pictures. Yeah.
Grandma.
Grandma, yeah. They always loved to come to our house, even when they got married. They always loved to come to our house, because everybody was together. It wasn't, like one time we had it at a hall, was at a town meeting. And everybody had them big tables, and everybody sit here, one sit here, one. It wasn't ever the same, so all the grandkids really, they said to me one time after that, they said, we don't want to have that no more, we want it at your house, so we had every Christmas there at our house, even though it's small, but we get 34 people in there, 38,
Yeah.
whatever.
There was people at your house all the time.
Yeah.
But I don't know how,
Do
you know, why
you
not
and
we
your
all sat
friends-
all the time all
Did you and
over
your
the place.
friends used to play cards all night like we used to? We'd
Mm.
play all night long, and then we'd go to school the next morning. Do you remember all that?
She used to call us all sick.
Yeah,
I
dance all
don't
in.
remember that, Ron.
Mom
I
would
am just
probably
shocked
do it.
at you, Mom.
No, she'd do
I
it.
don't even remember of it. I think they're full
And you
of it.
let your children stay up and play cards all night on a school night.
We did, always.
We were mean moms. Our kids had to be
I think it's
at
just a different era,
Yeah.
Yeah.
different.
Kept the kids off the streets, and Mom made pies, and we'd each have a pie to eat.
Well, I think what it is.
At least she knew where you
I
were.
think today the kids really don't have nothing to do, and I think in them days, between the parents and the kids themselves, there was always something for them to do. It kept them busy, so it wasn't no time. Well, they got in trouble a couple of times, but that didn't last. So. Rod,
They were just full of
Rod
it.
got in trouble one time, and I just gave him a talking to, and he never did another thing after that. So.
Remember the talking to?
Oh yeah. No,
I was
didn't-
gonna say, what
I
kind of
didn't
talking
talk-
was
no.
that?
No, I didn't do that. I just told him. I said, "You ever do this to me again?" I said,
All they was doing was pulling the,
railroad crossing arms down. The cops got him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, how bad could that have been?
Yeah.
Well, it stopped the
Well,
traffic all the way around the
Stopped all the
circle.
traffic all around the circle.
When one goes down, they
No,
all
when
go.
one came down all around the circle.
oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because the train track used to go all the way around
What's
the
the problem with that? Train might have been
I
clear.
remember hearing that story.
Well, we
Yeah.
did it.
Oh, that is great.
No, it wasn't just that crossing.
Just because no traffic could get through Talmadge at all, no biggie.
I thought it was just the one.
No, no.
That's the one
They
we
did 'em
pulled
all.
down.
When one goes down, they all go.
I wasn't part of that.
But like I said, though,
Not that came
we had great Christmas.
You
I
missed
think
out
the
on
last.
I don't know how I missed it.
I think the last Christmas we had out in Indiana was really nice.
It was awesome.
It was probably one of the best we've ever had.
Because everybody made it.
And everybody
except for
made it.
Dave.
And
Dave
how
couldn't
many
make the trip.
families do you know that could say a week or maybe two at the most ahead? Everybody's going out to Indiana and they all show. Not very many.
Yeah, that was a great thing.
How many was there of us?
I don't even know.
About 36, wasn't it? Something like that.
Kids be sleeping there, Don?
We don't care.
Pictures look nice.
Golf. Where he's talking about the Santa Claus. Because your breath smells of beef and cheese.
You're not Santa.
You're not Santa.
Yeah, I remember that. No, but just like I say, it's a great family and we're very blessed.
Yes, we are.
It was just great fun to see everybody there this Christmas too, because we haven't seen Josh in a couple of years.
Oh, I know.
It was just phenomenal to have everybody there.
You know, it was funny, about a week ago, I don't even think it was a week ago, John said he was talking about all the people that were talking about him on Facebook. And he said that everybody writes on there how he has inspired people, you know? And John said to me, he goes, I didn't inspire you. Why do they say that? And I said, do you realize, just look at the people in this room, how he inspired us.
He's touched everyone's lives, yes.
No, and no, I just wanted to let you know that because, you know, because you act like sometimes you didn't do anything for a lot of people. Let me tell you. You know, look at the fundraisers we've had, look at the money we've raised for a great cause, you know? And it wasn't because of me, or it wasn't because of it was because of you. And that way, you know, you inspired us all to do that.
And you get up and speak each time anybody
That
has
that was a great thing. I mean, look at the money for the ecology department, you know, because we never stopped to think about when they were telling us that time about the people that can't even get to their appointments because they don't have the gas money or they don't have the transportation. We don't stop to think about that, you know. I do now. I stop to think about all that stuff now, you know, which all of us pulled together and we all did those 2 fundraisers and that was phenomenal. That was great. And like I said, everyone from Indiana, you know, that joined us and made it all possible. It was unbelievable. But the only reason it transpired was because of you, you know.
That's right.
So that was the
And you
inspiration.
get up there and you tell your story every time at every fundraiser there's ever been for you. You've told your story. And each time it reaches out and touches one more person that inspires them to talk to someone else, and how many people have you helped with, you know, getting their prostate checked, and it's it's a really amazing thing.
Really. Like,
His own
you know,
brother.
yeah, like when I went to Indiana, we went to the gym, you know. Come on, let's go to the gym and walk. Okay, well, we don't even get to walk. It's Mr. Social Bug. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? You know, did you get your prostate checked? Hey, you got a husband here? Let me talk to him. You know, and I'm thinking, really, I'm gonna go run now, John. So that was, you know, a good thing you were there because you caught a lot of the stuff, you know. But it was just amazing, all the people. You know, hey, how you been? Haven't seen you for a while. How you doing? Boy, you look good. Like some of the people were surprised. Like, really? You look good, you know? So, it was...
Well, that's very true. Before we had our fundraisers, my sister lives in Goodyear, Arizona, and she had a fundraiser. First, she did one out there, and John and Rhonda flew out. And those people, every single one of them, and in the support that she had, the co-workers, friends, family members, that turned out to that, met John, heard the story, she spoke, John spoke. To this day, and then they keep up through Facebook or through my sister. I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, they'll say they just can't believe. They can't believe how well he's doing, what an inspiration he is, how he just keeps going and going, and all the places he's been and the things he's done. And what do you mean he's out riding a bike and he's doing this and that? And they can't believe it. I mean, I mean, that's not to be morbid, but I'm sure after his diagnosis, and then 2 years ago when it had spread, they're thinking, my gosh, you know, he's got to just be in really bad shape. And they hear, oh no, he's still going, he's traveling, he's doing this, that, and it touches all those people. I mean, one of my sister's best friends out there is a 72-year-old lady, and she is in Tai Chi and some type of jazzercise, and her husband go and do tennis, and they're doing all this stuff because if John can do it, they can do it. My sister runs on a treadmill. I see her do it. She's so tired when she comes home from work, and she'll run and she'll say, "This is for you, John Colbert," and she does it. So he definitely has inspired
Yeah.
people he doesn't even know.
As I say,
People he doesn't know.
everybody in my
What's up, brother?
work knows about it.
How you doing?
Constantly asking
Yeah.
about it, and it's a constant thing,
Yep,
My
certainly
neighbor.
is.
you know.
And I woke up the other morning, about 3 in the morning, and I thought, who else in this world has a son that's been to DC, plead his case, been to a lot of seminaries, and plead his case for cancer, went and rode with Lance Armstrong.
Thanks to you guys.
That's all right, but just, this is the way I feel. I'm very proud of you, and I love you very much.
I'm proud of all you, and I love you guys. So much.
And you did a lot, you
It's been great.
More than a lot.
Oh yeah, it's been great. It's been a great ride.
Yep. Yep. And we still got more to
I
go.
just say,
Yep.
keep pushing that envelope.
That's right.
We're, we're still pushing.
And
I mean,
Like I said,
everything,
you
and
got-
just like what you're doing here with this, the video that was posted, Sean, was that the person's name that did that? All it took was one of us to put that on our Facebook page, and it touched so many of my Facebook friends, and then they moved it on, and it's on people's Facebook that I don't know, that Rob doesn't know, that John doesn't know. You have to see this, it's such an inspiration. I mean, my niece, she called me, we don't talk that often, and she was just like, Aunt Kelly, this just made me cry so much. He's just such an inspiration. And she was just rebaptized this morning at her church. He plays a part in that. So, I mean, he doesn't even realize. It's so cool.
And I tell you, the ecology department and everybody in Fort Wayne
Oh my gosh.
is so great. It was so funny because I remember the first time I went, he was going to get chemo and he says, "You want to go?" And I'm thinking, really? Okay. And I'm thinking, you know, we're going to go in this dark room and, you know, oh my gosh, you know, and we go in there and first we go in the little waiting room, you know, and they got all these little hats that people like to have chemo and lost their hair. Well, John's trying all the hats, being all goofy-fied and stuff, and the people are laughing in there, you know, and I'm thinking, really? These people are here getting chemo and John's trying on this, you know, and they're all laughing and stuff, you know, and then we go back, you know, and all the people were just so nice and bright and cheery, and
It's
the
unbelievable.
rooms were bright, and I mean, I was just amazed. I couldn't believe it. I thought, give me some chemo, you know? It was funny. I mean, it was great. It was just, it was different, you know? That's why I say the hospital, if I ever got sick, I think I want to move to Indiana, so.
Yeah, that is true. We've always said, Akron, Northeast Ohio has such phenomenal hospitals, but boy, when you went up there, everybody you met, and the cleanliness of the hospital, just the whole situation, everybody you met, the nurses, the way it was set
We
up.
like the free parking.
Oh yeah, and you can't beat that free parking.
And you bust my chops about it.
Hey, the TVs are free too.
And the TV. That cost my daughter $47 for TV.
Oh, TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it is
No, the
a
hospital
really,
is
really nice
beautiful.
hospital.
Well, and then they put on that prostate 5K run too, same place. Last time we were there, what, 2 months ago? we
She's
did
trying to
that?
get up on your chair, John.
Same thing, people walking by
Oh,
amazed at how he looks and how he's handled this,
Yeah.
but.
We were out in Indiana, and you and I were talking, and you mentioned, I've been thinking about this a lot. I've been thinking about this. And you said that, I got dealt a bad hand. And I understand. I mean, I don't understand, but I understand why you said it. And I started thinking to myself, I'm like, you've taken that hand and you've played every card. You played every single one. And you're playing it right to the end. And you've touched a lot of people, just like Kelly was saying, a lot of people have been touched through your life here on this planet. Through the power of Christ, man. And I look at that, and that is a good hand.
It's a great hand. I'm sorry I said it was a bad hand.
No,
It's a
man.
bad hand.
That's us as human beings.
Yeah.
Sure, anyone would say that, John.
That's us as human beings, brother. And it takes a lot of courage to not have just given up.
Well, we just met Molly, who used to run Duffy's. We were just talking about her at Christmas. Rod asked, is she still working there? And they said, oh yeah, she says she's retired, but she does our books, she buys our vegetables, she does this, that, and the other. She's constantly working. We were in Duffy's 2 weeks ago, and Molly and her husband came in, and Molly's bald, and Molly looked terrible. And Rod's like, Molly, what's going on? She's like, nothing, dying of cancer. And he's like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, you're kidding me. And she's like, she was really in a lot of pain, she was miserable, she had a very negative attitude. And she's like, it's awful, it's everywhere, it's in my brain, I have melanoma. And we were trying to joke with her, because she's got that type of personality that you can.
Yeah.
And Rod said, well, what the hell are you doing out here? And her husband said, we make her. And I said, well, I don't know, if it's your cancer, you should be able to stay in bed. And he said, she stays in bed, she'll die. She's going to get out, and she's going to go live her life, and she's going to do things. But she did not want to be there, but she did make the best of it. But her attitude isn't yours. So even though you were dealt that hand, what you've done with it is so far different than what a lot of people do with it. I mean, you happen to know a lot of other people through Livestrong that do it the same way you've done it. But that's not a lot of us would be able to do that.
John's chosen to live, not live to die. That's the difference.
Yeah, we've said to each other, I have to tell Rod all the time, Rod, John has cancer and he lives better than we do. Because we dwell on, you know, oh, we're tired, or we're sick, or it's cold, or we don't have any money, or whatever, you know. It's like you can't think like that. We have to think more like John.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember Molly.
Do you really? We might want to pray for her. She's not doing so good.
Didn't we see her when we ate there last time you were on that one over there?
Yeah.
I mean, it must have went fast. I mean, because she did not have that cancer at Christmas when we asked about her.
So, like I said, I think we've all been inspired by him, you know, and we've all done, you know, like I say, he's opened my eyes so many different ways, it's just unbelievable, so, you know, and I'm just gonna keep going the way that I think that he wants us all to go, you know, just keep going, keep fighting, and...
Yeah, because that's never going to change. People, I mean, do you go anywhere where people don't say, how's your brother doing? I mean, we don't go anywhere where people don't say, hey, how's Rod's brother doing?
Yeah.
They like hearing the story, or, you know, we'll show them a picture, or, you know, the inspiration. You got to keep going.
Yeah, it's funny when you does go somewhere, like, you know, when you were at the Y that day, and then people say things that, you know, I would never say, but they say, like, you know, like, you don't look sick. You know, like, really? What do you want me to look like? You know? But,
Okay, how's this?
yeah, you would do that once in a while in the ecology department. You would do that. But, yeah, no, it's amazing. It's amazing. And, like I say, you got great support staff in Indiana, and, you know, so, hey.
That's for sure. Sometimes I have a hard time realizing how sick I am.
Well, that might be, I don't know if that might be a good thing, you know, because you just keep pushing that envelope, you know, you look at all that stuff that, you know, you're taking, I think, I remember, I took that one little thing when I was in that bike accident, and I thought, wow.
Yeah, John, most of us would be able to lift our head off a pillow on all those meds, and you're just trucking along.
Yeah.
By the grace of God, you know, it's just,
Yeah.
I don't understand. It's just,
Meant to be.
yeah, that's there. I think, okay, here's a handful. Here's another handful. What is it, about 38 pills a day? It's crazy.
Yeah. But it helps you,
Yeah.
you know.
And I know there's no cure for the cancer. And I'm fine. And, you just know eventually that the
pills.
My cure.
Well, no, there won't ever be a cure. You know, God could cure me. of
When we was
cancer.
young, they said there'd never be cure for epilepsy or Maul's blood.
Yeah, but
Well, someday, you know,
That's what I said.
someday down the road. You know.
but right now there's no
No,
cure.
no.
And all they're doing is just bandaging my pain, Dad. So it's just.
And even that, thank
Well,
heavens for
Well, yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Thank
look at
God
the
for
pain you
that.
were in a couple months ago.
Well, even if it wasn't being managed, I really doubt if I would be here today. Because the pain would be so
It was so excruciating.
that I couldn't even handle my. Hey, with technology and everything, doing great.
They've come a long way now. Years and years ago, people that had cancer didn't know. Or had heart attacks, didn't know they were going to have it.
But you know, I'm starting to get more tired, a little bit more tired.
That's
But that's just part of, you know, the cancer's growing and the medications and all that stuff.
Well, John, you know, our family's been truly, truly blessed
Oh, yeah.
by you. And
We got a great
to have
family.
you in our family, and we have a unique family, and you don't see a whole lot of that.
Nope, usually when families go on, you know, people start getting into arguments and stupid stuff. Nobody ever sticks together. Everybody just, families haven't talked to their own family members for 20 years or so.
We're never gonna let that
It's
happen.
kind of sad when you
Yeah,
see
it is.
families do that. So, even like Ronnie's family, you guys have always stuck together.
Yeah. I think that we share a lot of the same core values, and morals. You know, that's why I love your family so much, because I'm like, you know, brothers and sisters to me, and crying out loud. You guys haven't been able to shake me loose this long, so.
Still got here with it, don't it?
We tried.
Thanks for that money.
We tried.
I know
Well,
you-
now that we know the story
I won't
that
take a
you,
check from you.
that you helped John when he was crying in the 5th grade, we'll probably never get rid of you.
But no, everybody here is just.
I mean, what families do you know that, like all the cousins and the nephews and everybody all wants to get together, you know?
Especially to come to Fort Wayne. Of all places for Christmas, everybody came to Fort Wayne. That was just like,
We're hoping next year you move to Florida.
We're hoping when you go on, that's why we keep saying, where are you going where it's warm?
We wanna go.
Hoping you buy a place there.
That wasn't really all the people that wanted to really come.
yeah.
Yeah, more people would have if they could. Even old Ron here, he wasn't invited,
Yeah,
he
well,
pointed out.
Well,
I was gonna sneak in,
Yeah.
but I heard you had to go.
But that was our immediate family.
That
No,
was-
where were you then? You were
he
somewhere.
was somewhere, you couldn't
That's-
be.
yeah,
I think we were going, you went down to her, parents for Christmas or something?
No, you were on your cruise then, weren't you?
It was the week before Christmas.
Yeah.
I think came back. Just
He
before.
was doing something though, I remember.
Oh, I know.
It's okay.
Yeah, yeah,
What
really.
I did.
It was pretty amazing.
Hey, Roddy,
He
sorry.
eats too much.
Maybe next time.
I'm okay with it, really.
But no, it's just great. Got great nieces and nephews,
Cousins.
cousins.
It was great to see your boys and to see them get to
God.
see all the little kids and
Yeah.
the little kids. I mean, Shelby had never met Isla Rose. You and Rhonda had never met. Well, Rhonda had never met Drake. You guys had never seen Kennedy, so it was really cool. We got lots of good pictures. So that was really neat.
How you doing, Mom?
I'm doing good.
Of course, next Christmas, if we're not going to a hotel, the
John,
little ones are
go
going to be
back.
mad.
And I'm coming next year.
Right, John?
You can stay in our room.
It's all good, Mom.
You know it is.
I'll get my own room, thanks. I know how you are. You like to cuddle.
Trust me, you wouldn't want to been in our room. We had a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old.
And a baby. No, it's.
No, she had her own room.
That's right.
Oh boy, Bob was ready to rip his
Yeah,
hair
that
out.
was
You missed the
Yes.
Mohawks.
I know.
I
Is this the video part?
What's your peach pie?
Need some peach pie.
What would you like?
Okay.
There you go. Oh, I'm hungry.
You want all three?
Oh, I like the vanilla stuff.
Yeah, but you never know.
I might come back.
Claudia.
I'm not gonna say it. Okay. Oh, I love you.
Big hug.
You know what, pull that curtain. Is there?
We got it.
Love you, bud.
Here, let me give you a mom rub.